Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing week 3 of my project life for 2016. So this layout came together pretty fast. I think it took me about 45 minutes, but again, I talked about on the last video how every night I will get my photos edited. So then at the end of the week, I just decide where they're going to fall in my spread and then print them out depending on which ones I want to do black and white, which ones I want to do color, and then picking out my cards. So it moves pretty fast. So the first side of my spread, the left side, I'm using that weekly card from One Little Bird. And then the Bring On the Moments is from an Ali Edwards Story Kit subscription, and same with that 4x6 on the lower right. So what I have right now is I grabbed the 3x4 that's next to the picture of the weights right there, and I pulled that and I'm doing my typing on that and typing my journaling with my typewriter. And I just had my typewriter off to the left hand side, so while I was doing the video I could quickly do my typing and then hop right back. So I go ahead and finish that journaling, and then those word strips are from an Ali Edwards Week in the Life kit. So I'm just going to adhere that to the bottom of my 3x4 card. And what I like to do is kind of get the basic idea of each side of my layout done. And then I'll go back at the very end and I'll lay them side by side and decide if there's anything on the layout that's not balanced. So at the very end, you'll see me put both side by side and just check the balance out on the layout. But for now, the left side came together nice and quick, and I'm pretty much done with that left side. So on to the right side. I had a lot of photos this week, so just finding places for all them. So that little tag there came on a new pair of jeans that I bought this week, and it says Wash Story on it, and I loved that. I loved that it talked about the story behind the jeans and the color, and since we are storytellers, I thought that would be a great tag to include in my project life this week. So that 3x4 card is from Studio Calico in one of the monthly kits. I don't remember which kit it was. Same with that one with the little hearts. And that stamp set is from Studio Calico, and it is done by One Little Bird, and I adore that stamp set. I think I'm going to be using it a lot this year. It just has a lot of great basic stamps that you can use every week in your project life. So what I did is I grabbed a 4x6 white piece of cardstock, and I'm going to be adhering the two 3x4s to this, but I wanted to practice my stamping first. One, because I've never used these stamps before, so I didn't know how well they were going to stamp, and two, because I wanted to check that ink. It's a brand new ink, and so I was worried that it might be a little bit too inky, which it was, and so I practiced a few times on just being really light with it so I wouldn't get some over inking and squishing of that ink out. So that's why I practiced over there a few times. And that little 3 is from an Ali Edwards Week in the Life kit. And what I did is I just took some black paint and I painted it before the video started because I knew that I wanted to use that and I wanted to make sure it was nice and dry. So I adhered both those to the 4x6. Now I could have just used my fuse tool and fused that pocket into two 3x4s, but honestly, I don't know what I'm going to want to do next week yet, since it's only Wednesday. So I didn't want to fuse a pocket without already knowing the idea of next week's layout. And I didn't want to wait for my fuse tool to heat up. The fuse tool is really great, but when you have to wait 20 minutes for it to heat up, it's just one more thing to wait on. And so a lot of times I just think, oh, forget it, I'll just figure something else out. So that was me figuring something else out. So I liked this card, but I didn't like that the little tag on there that said yes was being covered up. So I just used an X-Acto knife and I trimmed around that tag so then the tag for my jeans could slip right underneath there. And I adhered that piece of string down just with a heart paperclip that came in an Ali Edwards story kit this month. Okay, so this 4x6 pocket, what a mess this ends up being. So here I am practicing what I'm going to write out because I liked the diagonal stripe. I wanted to do my journaling diagonal on that, and I was having problems thinking about how to do it with my typewriter. So I decided I was just going to handwrite it, which I like my handwriting. It's totally fine. But the problem that I had was I had no handwritten elements anywhere else on the page. So you'll see in a minute here when I lay it all out, it just sticks out like a sore thumb. I think I felt like my eye kept going there first, and that's all I saw. And so what I end up doing in a few minutes is I'll lay it all out, I'll decide I don't like it, and I will cut a new piece of that same paper, and I will just do my journaling on it vertically. So I end up not using the design element of the diagonal stripes, but it just ended up looking better in the end because then my eye didn't go there first. It just fit the overall design of the page much better. So even there you can see, I mean, does it make or break the page? Probably not, but I just liked it much better with the type. So that little chipboard piece is from a Studio Calico kit also. Can I just say that I love chipboard? You will see that in my project life, I use a ton of chipboard. I go pretty light on most of my embellishments, except for chipboard. I like the way it looks in most of my layouts, so I use it a lot in my project life. And it doesn't add too much bulk. Most of these chipboard pieces are fairly thin, so it doesn't make a big difference. So over here, I just grabbed that 3x4 piece picture of selfie that I took of me in a new pair of jeans that I bought, and I just ran that photo through my typewriter, and in there wrote nothing better than a new pair of jeans. So, but as I pulled it out of my typewriter, I smudged it with my thumb, and you'll see in a little while here, I'm gonna completely rub it off. When you type, at least with my typewriter, when I type on the photos, I can rub it off with my thumb. So I just rub it off and then I retype it, just so it doesn't look all blotchy. So here I'm just gonna lay out my entire spread next to each other and check the balance. So I'm just continuing to look over the entire spread now and making some balance adjustments. So you saw me use my tiny attacher to attach those word strips down, so there was consistency across the layout with how I attached those little word strips. Now here is back to the 3x4. And so what I'm going to do now is grab that little 3x4 that I had the journaling on, and I'm going to run that through my typewriter, and then that will finish off that 4x6 card. I grabbed some puffy stickers and some little enamel stars and dots out of my stash, and I was just gonna kind of look around and see if there was any place that I wanted to add those on the layout. I grabbed that stamp from Studio Calico to add to the bottom of that 3x4 card. After my journaling, I still had a little bit of space at the bottom of the card, so I needed to add something. So there's a little stamp that says rating and then some stars. So the idea of giving that experience that we had a 5-star rating is kind of what I was going for on that card. So I'm going to go ahead and again practice my stamping, then stamp on that 3x4 card. Right there I just talked about a couple times a year we will as a family go to our church and we will take turns cleaning the church building. So we like to do this as a family, and just what it teaches our boys as far as doing service and doing something that maybe isn't so easy, getting up early on a Saturday morning to go clean the church, maybe not something that they want to do, but how doing those kinds of things that stretch us are important. So just kind of talked a little bit about that there. And that photo next to it is of them cleaning the windows of our church building. So kind of talked about that there, and then that is the 2 4x6 pockets on the right half of that spread. So again, by laying out my entire spread, I noticed that the 3x4 or the 4x6 cards that did not have journaling on them, I used my typewriter, and so I just wanted some consistency throughout that layout. So I grabbed that photo of our house and I just typed home on it. And I feel like taking a picture of your house every year is a really good idea, just because you do home improvement things every year and things change, and so I think it's a special and important thing to take a picture of your home and where you live and those important things every year. So I like to take that picture in January every year. So here I'm just working with that title card. Again, I like to keep my embellishments pretty simple, and I especially like to keep them simple on the title card just to create consistency through my entire album. So I'm just grabbing a little chipboard black heart, and I'm going to add that to the top of the week 3, and then there'll be that Ali Edwards word strip right underneath it, and that will complete the title card. So now I'm just going to take all my photos and cards and place them into my pocket for this week. And then you'll be able to see the entire spread. And also at the very end, I'm going to have some still photos. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment below or head over to my blog where I will also have some more photos and some information on anything for this layout and for other projects that I'm working on. So thanks so much for stopping by and have a great day. Bye-bye.